back. Just unmute your mics, which
Thank
you all
you.
did.
Thank you very much. Make a motion that we assign the P&S for the 150 Center Street property this evening. Do I have a second on that?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Betty Gorski, yes. Phil Dunn, yes. Joe
No Demore,
Demore,
yep.
yes.
Very
And
good.
also, we've, make a motion to sign the P&S agreement for the Angelini property. It's the earth removal permit. Did we do that last?
You already voted that.
So we,
That's all
okay,
good.
so it's just the P&S on Center Street, correct?
Yeah. But that's
Is that the
Angelini, that's Angelini's property
Property,
on Center Street.
okay,
Not busing.
okay.
We've already signed that a long time ago.
So we're all set? Very good.
Very good.
We are inviting the fire department chief and others here. I don't know I hope we're successful with the
Could we do,
Eagle
I'm
Scout.
sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted
You
to
took a long pause.
yeah, I know, I was thinking, I had so many things in my head.
Could we do the year-end transfers that Denise has asked for?
Okay,
I
then.
attached it to your agenda. I thought it was one
Okay.
sheet.
Oh, yeah, I did see those. Yeah. Forgot about those.
They're the regular things we do every year when budgets have run out of money towards the end of the year. If they didn't make it to a special town meeting, you're allowed to take up to a certain percent from other budgets. And then the finance board will have to meet and
The
approve.
general fund paper?
Yeah.
Okay,
Does that have to be read out aloud or just approved?
No, you just approve the bottom line.
okay, the
Yeah.
$31,980?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
And
make a,
I'll attach a copy to the record, so
Okay.
we have the full thing in the record.
so, make a motion to, from the general fund for transfer of money to,
You can read the departments if you wish.
okay, transfers from the finance directors, from the salary of the finance director, $7,698. Transfer from to, do we need that? To the town clerk, $1,139. The police patrolman's, well, would you read that, Joe, please?
Sure. Can I take it from the top?
Sure you can.
Okay, let me do it this way. We're gonna transfer from the following, a total of $31,980. From the finance, director's salary, $7,698. From the police patrolman's salary, $2,355. From the firefighter wages, $2,478. From Pentucket capital assessment, $14,265. And from the library, $5,184. That's the money we're going to transfer from those 5 departments: finance, police, fire, Pentucket, library. And we're going to transfer that money to the following: town clerk for election expenses, $1,139. Police, other wages, $5,729. Police incentive wages, $1,397. Police sergeant's salary, $559. Also, police communications salary, $5,204. From the fire expense account, $1,566. From Pentucket supplemental assessment, $14,265. So, for example, we're gonna take it out of the capital assessment and transfer it over to supplemental assessment. From the library summer help, paid wages, $944. And the last one is Medicare tax, $1,176. So if you add up the transfers too, it comes out exactly to $31,980. So for the public, that's an exercise that we do usually at the end of the year, towards the end,
Always at the end of the year.
at the end of the year.
The end of the fiscal year.
And it's a way that the government robs Peter to pay Paul.
And the ones that were for salaries, wages, it's because of illnesses and they had to fill in with more, other personnel.
okay.
And the library was, lost some help and they
Right.
gave more hours to
To
their
somebody else.
summer help.
Bill, do I have a second on Joe's
I'll
motion?
give you second on Joe's motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right?
And I'll abstain because it does have some police,
There you go.
transfers in there.
Good.
Thank you both for doing that. Thank you for reading that and explaining to people the reasons we do that. Okay, we're,
Just, we're gonna do policies real quick and then open session if there's any, if
okay.
you wanna introduce that.
Did you say it in
Oh,
there, Heidi?
decision on proposed policies, if any.
Okay. Policies this evening that we've had an opportunity to look at, and I have to say, I don't know which ones you want, Joe. There are some that are very defined.
Yeah, I think I wanted to just introduce just 4 of them, and they're really easy ones.
Because there was a couple I had questions on.
Yeah,
and I wasn't
one of them, I think if, without reading the whole thing again, because this is the 3rd or 4th time we've gone through it, but Bill's idea about inviting members of boards and commissions every 90 days or so to come and visit with us informally. You know, I think if we can get an approval on that. The other one is, what about if a board member or a committee member has a question for town council? How do we handle that? We talked about that the last couple of meetings.
That's the one that we said that they can't, carte blanche called town
Right, they have to
council.
go through the chair.
They have to go and
Yeah,
I will pass
So
it
you're
on
on
to
to the
Nancy.
second one right now, Joe, right?
yeah, that's the second one. So Bill's idea was inviting, you know, the boards and commissions on a regular basis, and that's,
Do we need to make a vote tonight?
what's that?
You want
Yeah,
to vote
we'll-
tonight?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll vote.
if I can vote on that one, and maybe we can vote on all of these together. If we're unanimous, that
Let's bundle them if we
yeah,
can.
we'll bundle them. And then the idea about, the policy about if a board or committee member has a question for our town council, they are directed to send the question to the secretary of the Board of Selectmen. Basically, they have to get your permission, the
And,
chair.
Whoever the chair might be.
Whoever the chair might be. Then the 3rd one is the election of the chair, which is pretty much the way we do it now. But I made some tweaks in there, we made some tweaks in there on how to accommodate the election of the chair when we have 5 members on the Board of Selectmen. And then the last one for tonight for consideration is just the minutes. The one that I'd like to, again, propose, there were 2 versions, but the minutes are to be approved by the majority of the vote of the board on meetings following the meeting that they were generated from. So, for example, tonight, we approved the minutes from the last meeting. And then once they're approved, they are made available for public distribution upon written request. And then those requests are fulfilled as early as possible. And it's just a simple policy. We can also add some language in there where if a written request is made, the secretary of the Board of Selectmen has 10 days to respond in terms of getting the minutes, you know.
Because I think one of our guests
submitted.
this evening asked
Distributed.
about minutes, didn't she?
Exactly, and basically, I explained this policy, which pretty much has been in effect anyways. I mean, a lot of these policies, that's why these are easy ones, except for Bill's idea. These are things that are pretty much in place anyways. We're just nailing them down so that we can build a body of work called Board of Selectmen Operating Policies. So-
And the policies would be, where would the town people be able to get the policies? Online?
I think
Paper.
We adopt them, we can put them online.
we can put them online once we adopt them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good idea, and
'Cause I know a lot of people say they don't, like tonight, the Boy Scout thing, one of the mothers had called me and said, how do I go about it? I said, just call the selectman secretary and get on the agenda. So a lot of people don't know how, and it would be nice that they have a way.
It does say that on the website, it's just people don't
They
go to the
don't take the
website.
time to read it or
Right.
whatever.
But in the next few meetings, we'll have other policies that, you know, we're still reading and maybe clarifying. But if I can get if you like these policies the way they are, the way we've developed them, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt all 4 of them as a bundle. And we can have a second and a further discussion, and then we can vote.
Can we go one by one? I don't know, or do you
Well-
wanna do all 4? In case someone didn't wanna do all 4?
What we have that.
But that's my
this
motion.
Discussion, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my motion is to just approve them all together.
So a recap would be the election of the chair, the posting of minutes, your idea of inviting people in every 90 days or so that serve on other committees to give us a recap of what they're doing, or if we have questions, just an informal discussion, I believe.
Yeah.
And the fourth being,
Is the one about the town council, if somebody needs
Yes.
advice from town council, they have to
Town
go
council.
through the chair.
so
of the
people
Board of
aren't just
Selectmen.
picking up the phone and calling town council and expecting them to talk with them
That's important.
without,
I agree.
receiving permission
agree.
from us. So you've made that motion, Joe?
Yep.
Got any questions, Bill?
No,
Do you
I'm
want to
good.
second the motion?
I'll second the motion.
No further discussion?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So the-
Very good. So there's four that,
they're
we're-
adopted
we're
now
all
without
in.
further reading because they were adopted unanimously, so.
Kind of what we're talking about right now would be like, I was talking with the building inspector, and I was saying, I went in to get a permit, and I was talking to him kind of general about my theory of what happens, and he was kind of saying a little bit about his frustrations too, is the paperwork in the beginning needs to be straightened out. Like, people coming for a building permit need to have the paperwork in front of them. If it's this kind of situation, you're building a building, they gotta be, in the beginning, notify what they're doing, and it's not there. And he was in agreement, it's like the conservation and the other boards, can we come up with some kind of a paper that, when you start in the beginning, it's there, they know where to go. And there is somewhat that procedure now, but it's just not fine enough. And that's where a lot of the problems start.
I think the zoning board has actually worked on an application process.
They are working on it.
Which is good, and the planning board, they're working together on streamlining some processes, so that's important.
Once the important, the boards for construction and so forth get through their own, what they're redoing in their departments.
Right.
Then we could put something together for the public.
Good
As a
idea.
handout. If you need a building permit, you have to do this. If you need conservation issues.
Ideally, that would
call
be
this
the thing
person.
to do.
I mean, if every board does what they need to do, we could put something
Just
nice
put it
together
together,
for
really.
public
Right.
information.
Packet that they pick up and follow.
That's part of our,
It's easy to follow.
improving service to the public.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Absolutely.
And it's great to see that the boards are all, we really have a lot of these pretty exciting projects coming together quickly, and I think by the end of this year, we're gonna have some processes in place.
Well, hopefully you're going to have another meeting soon with the
We will.
planning and zoning to send those bylaws. out.
Exactly,
think-
because
I think
time is
that-
of the essence there
Isn't
to
the
get that to
zoning-
council.
They're on vacation till September, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm on
It's
the board.
almost September, that's why.
It is, it's a couple of weeks.
Well, I always
away.
look for the
Give them a call
emails,
and
because everyone keeps
bring
me
them
straight by emails, but I was
Bring
like, no,
them
it's
in.
gotta be sometime in
In
September.
September,
Yeah.
they're on.
Unfortunately, that first meeting's gonna be a good one, so.
Yeah.
But that should be a separate meeting like you did the last time, like a workshop, just in
Yep.
case they wanna
Yep.
recommend.
We'll have it
right?
chaired by Betty, and just like we did, we'll mediate the discussion between the zoning board and the planning board. How exciting is that?
What, are we into?
We're in the general discussion
Yeah,
period,
okay.
and if anybody
One
has
of
something.
my things was,
to
and
discuss.
it's probably something far-fetched, but kind of going a little deeper in what we just talked about. Is there a night we could bring in the zoning board, and we can have the planning board and the selectmen and a lot of the boards, and have the chairmans of the boards, knowing they're coming in, knowing what they're coming in for, and bring some ideas before us? You think it gets too far-fetched?
No, that's what you used to do when you did the all boards
We did,
meeting.
used to have
That's
an
what I'm getting
all-boards
at.
meeting
Yeah.
on Saturday
Do it on
mornings.
Saturdays.
Right.
We
Really?
did.
But what happened was they tried and then less and less came and
Sure.
it kind of fell apart.
You know, if it's
so-
a Saturday meeting in January and it's
Right.
been snowing all day,
Well, we've just put this policy in place to invite boards and commissions, maybe we can introduce that idea as we roll in with some folks, so.
we can
Do you-
resurrect that.
Who can we invite, should
You
we?
used to do it, what was it, every 6 months, I believe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how do we get
So
that?
we just send out an email
Okay.
to all the, the working boards and committees.
Maybe we can do that simultaneously in the same email that you're gonna talk about, the other issue.
Well, first you have to decide when you want to have a meeting like that.
I'm all for doing it at the end of September or October, because we wanna get,
October when
we wanna get-
vacations are over.
Everybody's back
we wanna
home.
get that other, meeting done first about,
For Alex and.
for, Not only that, but also the zoning board and the planning board to.
Yeah, for the zoning.
For the zoning, yeah, that's important, so I would suggest we do it, let's just target first meeting in October.
You wanna try that on a
Yeah.
Saturday again?
I
I
just
would.
think Saturday
Is that a bad
sometimes-
day for you, Bill?
No, I don't, I can make it as long as I have notice, but I think sometimes Saturdays,
same
people are
way,
so
Jane.
busy, and that's the only day to do things. I think that's why sometimes people don't come. Can we, you think it'd be too long on a,
Well, they first tried it at night, that's why they went to a Saturday, trying to encourage people.
yeah,
It was good, it's just, sometimes when you bring people together, they wanna come, but they don't really have anything to say, and then
Right.
they kinda just peter off and, you know?
Yeah.
You almost have to drag things out of,
Some people.
Yeah.
and others wanna talk the whole time.
Yeah,
Really? I wouldn't know.
and,
Well, at least you get it.
the thing with Saturdays, and like Bill said the same, you know, people get busy on the weekends, and now everybody's got kids in
Right,
soccer,
football.
Yeah.
football, or hockey, they're all playing in different leagues.
I think working with off Mondays seems to work.
Maybe the off Monday, we can
Just
do
like we
it
did with the Government Advisory Council, we met for weeks and weeks on, like,
Thursdays, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Thursday
did
nights?
Thursdays, but we,
well, what I can do is send an email to all the departments that used to be invited,
say you were formerly,
and tell them that you're going to start up the,
All boards
all
meetings.
boards meetings again, and, here's the schedule, and I'll do it
okay,
every 4 months, every 6 months, what do you want?
I think 4 months.
4 months,
Every 4 months? And I'll give them a date on an off Monday night
yeah.
at 7 o'clock,
Yep.
6:30.
6:30, 7 o'clock, I don't care, whatever they,
Great.
Yeah, maybe seven's easier for some people if they have to travel
So
a
we can work
distance.
Mondays, Saturdays, Sundays,
Sure, we just got all this space here, we can get some Murphy beds.
trying to fill out the salary that we get.
Oh, wait, they're awesome, right here.
Okay, anything else you wanted to discuss, Nancy? Did you have anything for us that you thought we
No, I
need to
think
know
we
about?
have- We have everything.
Good.
Joe, Bill?
One
Very
more.
well done.
Go
one more.
ahead, yeah, you can, absolutely, that's why
To
we're
go
here.
back on to the finance director came to us and she said to us, she said, I would like to try and take and change, close Fridays and have a night open. So what I've done is I've kind of went around and kind of talked to a few people, and the people I'm talking to in the town hall
Excuse me.
are saying that it's a good idea. I mean, they weren't against it, and they were kind of like, yeah, and this time of year, it's like Friday's like a ghost town. And they were kind of for it, so I didn't see much opposition, so hopefully she goes and moves with that. I think that it sounds like it's a pretty good thing, and like the building inspector was saying, we have no problem with it, and it's a good idea, because a lot of people do get frustrated, like you said, they can't get in here, they can't get it done in one night. So if we can do it, he was saying, when the fire department was open, they could go around that night and get it all done, like a Tuesday night or something. But the people I've talked to, it seemed that they're in favor for it.
So you want to direct Denise to go ahead and schedule?
I think-
Well, I think Denise is looking at other towns, the last time I talked to her.
She was doing
to
some
see-
research, yeah.
To see whether it works for the town, how it worked, worked out. Because it was funny, right after she mentioned that at the meeting, probably a couple days later, we got through our associations an email saying, we're thinking of closing on Fridays, have any of you tried? And the first response that came back was, is this to make a 4-day weekend, a long weekend, or is it really to benefit something? And then she contacted the person that she knew that was part of this group and asked, once they get all their he gets all his responses back, would he share them with her? And I think that's where it stands right now.
Good.
There are towns that do it, there are towns that don't. She is looking into it before she makes a final
Comes to us
commentary
with
to you.
more,
Yeah.
more.
I'm
Okay.
just in favor,
Well,
if
that's
somebody
fine.
likes a
Glad you
good
did that.
idea and they're in favor of it, let's put it in place before they change their mind.
No, I know. But you also have to think about, too, if you're closed on one day
You have a holiday,
and a holiday, and then people wanting to take time off, there's gonna still be the problem of nobody being in an office when somebody comes here, because
Yeah.
you have one person in each office, with the exception of the corner there.
right?
And the water department has 2 people. occasionally.
Yeah.
So, that's what you have to look at, more so than just, is it good to close up on a Friday?
And then having the public have access to people
Right.
that are needed for signatures and permits and all that. It's great service.
Yeah,
Well, when we first did the sign-off sheet, all departments were asked to have someone available on a Monday night at
On
town
a
hall.
specific night. So we're
And they did
basically
it
gonna
for a
go back to
while.
that. Yeah.
They did it for a while,
Yeah,
and in fairness to them, people didn't come out because
Yeah.
there wasn't a lot of building going on, and they didn't wanna sit
Right,
here on
building
Monday
had
nights, so they
subsided.
stopped doing it.
right.
so now if we obligate them to do that on a night that works for everyone because they have Fridays off, it works. It's a great idea. Excellent.
But, there is a lot to look at, and I would let her go through
Right, she's
whatever
doing some-
she's asking.
Okay, good.
Research.
Good
Is that
point.
it,
I'm good.
gentlemen, ladies?
Thank you very much. Well run.
Thank you.
Well-run meeting.
Thank you, Charlie.
Can I have a
Thank you,
motion?
Chris. Thank you, Tracy. You got us in here, and I don't know if you feel there were any glitches, but seems to,
That was our first shoot, and this one, it seemed to work good, and from what I saw in the town clerk's office, the sound for everyone.
Was good?
Seemed a lot better.
Right.
Even the sound for the people
Speaking in the room.
audience.
good,
Yeah.
good.
So,
Good job, cable TV.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll hopefully get some feedback from people talking to Nancy and the three of you, whether, how much they like this better.
Yeah, we'll get some feedback.
My mother-in-law said if she can hear me, it would be good.
She wants to hear you, Bill?
Yeah, she said, I watch it, but I can't hear you. I said, really?
Okay.
Well, we'll see what she says after tonight.
That's right.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Thank you all.
You all? Okay. All right.
Hey.
Let's
One more
see.